the Dobharchú. 300 years have been and gone since one September morn a legend steeped in history and mystery was born, as from the lake whose name it takes, the glen of jealousy, a beast arose from its repose and killed Grace Connolly. 'Twas on that land Midlochlin farm close by to Eagle's Rock, a quiet man who'd do no harm, a shepherd to his flock, whose wife was Grace of noble face and mind and body too, who went to bathe there in Glenade where lived the Dobharchú. And in that crisp mid-morning air, the sky both bright and blue, no wisp of cloud was anywhere, no wind to shake the dew. The lake becalmed where mountains stand to wrap around the glen, till then it stirred when there was heard a sound to startle men. For in the quiet morning ease her screaming pierced the air, to shake the birds from off the trees and wake the dreaming hare. And all alive, if they survived, would swear it still was true. The fiercest cry was she who died, who met the Dobharchú. And as the birds rose up in flight, Midlochlin in his field was frozen rigid by the fright and shock, till then he kneeled and prayed to God to spare his wife and take his life instead, that he may see her safe return, as there he turned and fled. And to the lake by home he ran to grab his loaded gun, but any hope he had began to quickly come undone, when he arrived to find his bride, and there within his view, upon her mangled breast at rest, there lay the Dobharchú. The beast, its height 6 feet at least, and even more besides, with fur as black as any night and blood red in its eyes, rose up to term Midlochlin as a devil sent from hell, and called to all with ears to hear its shrill unearthly yell. But Midlochlin stood undaunted, unbowed and undeterred, and vowed to take his vengeance on that haunted sound he heard, as he knocked and cocked his musket, and with one shot he blew the head clean off the shoulders of that demon Dobharchú. But no sooner had his gunshot echoed out across the cliffs, from Ben Whiskin to Ben Bulben to the cave above Glenif, than from the lake its mate appeared near twice its kin in size, and the terrorized Midlochlin dropped his gun in his surprise. And he ran back to the homestead with a fear that spurred his speed, but he dared not look behind him, too scared of what he'd see. For the fate that there awaited was his certain death he knew, if he met for just 1 second with that second Dobharchú. So he called out to his neighbours just to warn them all to flee, and he called out to his brother to prepare their trusted steeds. And with the beast still close behind them with its cold intent to kill, they rode their horses westwards towards Cashel Garran Hill. And 'twas there they met a druid by the name of Micheál Quirk, who was carving in his woodshed and was busy at his work, who said he'd seen them coming, for in mindsight there he knew that today would be the day where they would slay the Dobharchú. And he whispered as he told them that no earthly beast was this, for only through enchantment could it cease to thus exist. So he gave them both a dagger as he gravely blessed their blades, and he wove a spell upon them as he bade them go and prayed. And no sooner had he done so than the druid heard the screams that for years he'd only known within the confines of his dreams. But those screams rose to a fervour, as on and on they grew, till Midlochlin raised his dagger and then slew the Dobharchú. And let all who will still doubt me go out to Grace's grave in Conwell Cemetery in the valley of Glenade, where carved upon her gravestone, though faded now it's true, you'll see there lies the story of the dreaded Dobharchú. But beware who walk the lakeside, for that spell the druid cast was said to be 300 years that it would come to last, when that hound would reawaken and come to ground anew from the lake where lives the legend of the Glenade Dobharchú.